Well, there you have it. Hair and beard. Um, Turns out she got a spray in, so it pretty much just washes out with shampoo, supposedly. We'll find out, but I was expecting, and I agreed to an actual dye, so she could have actually dyed it, and I was okay with that. Uh, so it actually does look a little bit more of a purple, but it is, I forget what it said, moonlight blue or something like that. Uh, so this is what happens. Um, my brace did come, uh, which is helping quite a bit. Uh, they did also switch me over from the codeine cough syrup to just a standard cough syrup and a prescription of Vicodin. Um, that made a big difference. The cough syrup they didn't have, I'm only gonna be able to pick that up today after 5. So I went the whole weekend, without it. Um, you're not supposed to take any Tylenol with Vicodin. And I usually take NyQuil, which has a decent amount of Tylenol in it. NyQuil seems to help the best with my throat. So what I was doing is I was actually taking half a tablet of Vicodin, and I would take the bottle of NyQuil and just touch it to my tongue and tip it up just enough to swallow that it would and then I would do some kind of numbing on my throat, but not actually enough to actually to produce a swallowable amount. And then that did help. Usually when I wake up in the morning, that's when it was worse because everything had worn off, the pain medicines and whatnot. And sometimes I sleep a little. You wake up in an opposition. Today, when I woke up, I must have definitely slept on it wrong because every time I breathe in and out, I could just feel it popping, and I didn't have that the day before. So I must have definitely, I don't know what I did, but I did something to it. So today after 5 o'clock, I'll pick up the cough syrup. That'll definitely help. And like I said in the Vicodin, I've been using half a tablets for now until I can get the cough syrup. Like I said, the brace does help. Sometimes I have to take it off because the brace itself starts hurting just from being compressed all the time. I don't put it on too tight, but tight enough that at least it's not of a concern. One thing I did forget to mention is on the 13th, I believe it was. Today is let me check just to make sure. I did this last time. Today's the 22nd. But I believe on the 13th, I had another PET scan scheduled. It was a follow up originally because they were going to do the biopsy before my blood clots. We had scheduled another PET scan to see what was going on. The PET scan was clear, then obviously they didn't have to do the biopsy. If they found anything on the PET scan, then they want to go through and go ahead and do the biopsy. At this point, um, like I said, I had another PET scan on, let me get my dates correct here. It was on the 11th. I had my PET scan on the 17th, last Friday. I had met with my doctor, my oncologist, and everything is still clear. So there is no reoccurrence of any cancer anywhere. They do a scan from top of my skull all the way down to mid thigh, so there is no reoccurring cancer at this point. There are some spots here and there that didn't light up like they normally would for cancer, but were a little more noticeable. However, um, those are indicative of prior treatments, scarring, radiation, things like that. The infection I had, or the radiation myas that's still healing within me. So both the image tech and the doctor both noted that and both agreed that at this point that's what it was. So they are going to now have a 4 month wait for a CT scan instead of a PET scan. They'll see what the CT shows after 4 months and then go from there to see if they need a PET scan, another PET scan or not. But at this point, everything is good and healed. Um, I did have to reschedule my oncologist, or not my oncologist, my cardiologist appointment. As I said before, they said everything was golden, that he didn't need to see me, but as a precaution, just for a final test, they want to put a Holter monitor on me for 24 hours. Obviously, because of my broken rib, that would make my heart spike, every time I would cough just from the pain. So they held that off. They put it off for 2 weeks. As long as I'm not coughing, or at least I can cough without the pain, they'll put it on. When I get close to that date, if it's not if it is not feasible at the time, and they just told me to call and just keep rescheduling until we're able to do that. So at this point, I'm on the healing process. I'm moving my way forward. As you can see, like I said, I stayed with my agreement. I went blue, took it outside, and it was a spray on. Like I said, I would have, if she wanted to go with blue, and you can see it's actually a little smudged. It's supposed to shampoo out, but yet I was sweating pretty good, and I didn't have anything come out. So it's, but like I said, if it ends up a little bit in there, I don't care. I want to thank everybody for all the comments, and for those of you that do follow and and comment and check up on me. I appreciate it. It is an easy way for me to stay in contact, especially because there's quite a few people between messages and text and phone calls and everything else, and it's still easier. Otherwise, I would just consume my days just texting people and being on the phone, and I wouldn't get anything done. So it is a little easier to do it this way. There are a few people that I do want to reach out to that I haven't seen for quite some time, that did call me. So I do want to do that. But okay, all right. Have a good day. Thanks, everyone.